Are you ready for our chat, Jenkins?
If you're ready to play, Mr. Holmes, let's not dally.
I was just admiring the room.
A faint reflection of its former greatness. Only a few nice objects remain.
Why have some of the house furnishings been allowed to deteriorate?
Want of money, of course. The present lord's personal habits have impoverished us and ruined our reputation.
I'm sorry, Jenkins. It must be a sore trial for you. I hope you will not mind, Jenkins, if I observe that this room lacks a strictly personal touch.
Not at all. He's disposed of numerous heirlooms for ready cash. The family portraits provide all the individuality there is, and I believe he's trying to sell them. The music room is a bit more intact.
Is that Lawton's grandfather above the fireplace?
Great-grandfather, the first Earl, received the title from Wellington himself after Waterloo.
He looks a rogue to me.
A little rough around the edges, perhaps. Sailed close to the wind on one or two occasions, the truth be told. Still, compared to his leaden progeny, he was pure gold.
May we get started, Jenkins? Cut to the chase, as they say.
You're that anxious to have your clock cleaned, Mr. Holmes?
Not really. I told you what I knew of Mr. Pratt's death.
That got you in the door.
I'm just eager for more of your conversation.
Be eager, then, even ardent. But you'd better play well if you want more time here.
We won't waste time with a match, Jenkins. I possess something you want.
I'm sure, but this is not about knowledge, money, or a nimble tongue. This is about billiards. Can you play?
I know the diamond system. I'll show you how it works. My price is fair dealing and plain conversation, and a look around the house.
Done. You are approaching divinity. I accept your terms. Show me now, please.
So, Jenkins, I assume I've met your standard of performance?
Very impressive, Mr. Holmes. I don't know where you learned it. They say even a blind pig finds an acorn from time to time. Well, do your worst. I'm no welcher. Ask what you will, look at what you want. For the moment you've got the run of the place.
Lord Lawton has made false or evasive responses to my inquiries. Why?
Does he owe you money?
No. His prevarications may have dangerous consequences for you and every British subject.
This is how I see it, Mr. Holmes. He disguises the truth from himself as often as from others. Bad investments and gambling have exhausted his patrimony. To avoid bankruptcy, he's made a dreadful marriage agreement with a blue-nosed prig. He can't afford to lose this grotesque prospect. So concealment is the emblem of his life, and he has much to hide. Dubious friends, disgusting habits, dismal relationships, the gamut of youthful indiscretion and aimless turpitude.
So he may have a guilty secret. Or having no secret, he may have lied by habit. Or lacking the real article, he may think that the truth can be converted into money at a later date.
Exactly. Not much help, but true.
Do you have the key for this album, Jenkins?
I do not. Those are his lordship's private snaps, Mr. Holmes.
Someone has already violated that privacy. Note the marks around the lock. I wonder what he found.
Perhaps I won't delve too deeply into your intentions.
That would be best. Are these all of Lawton's photographs?
That's the lot. His lordship's not a sentimental man. Keeps only a few mementos and souvenirs and rarely looks at those.
The photo from the inside of the back cover is missing, Jenkins. Do you recall it?
Invading Lord Lawton's privacy is not among my duties.
You never saw the photograph while you were cleaning? Or perhaps he showed it at a gathering.
I may have seen it once, by chance. It was the portrait of a handsome female person. He has many of those. But this was different. I believe I've seen the lady, but I can't recall where, I'm sorry.
Seen her where? In the house?
No, never. It's a guess, but it may have been in the newspaper.
When was the piano last tuned?
Someone came from the studio just the other day.
Did you watch him work?
Of course not. I heard him from the billiard room, but I don't think he left the piano except to let himself out. Couldn't have been here more than 30 minutes.
Did he leave an invoice?
Now that you mention it, he didn't leave anything.
Then I'd bet the manor that he took something away. Has anything gone mysteriously missing?
Not that I've noticed.
Who accompanies Lord Lawton when he plays?
Of late it's Lady Lockridge, and a company puts too good a face on it. Caterwall is closer to the mark. Sometimes I have to leave the house for the cacophony.
The room must have once been quite lovely.
It was, Mr. Holmes. I've become quite weepy thinking about it. Now please be brief. I'd prefer you were gone when Lord Lawton returns.
What is Lady Lockridge to Lord Lawton?
Lady Cordelia Lockridge is, as she always says, his affianced.
The late Lord Cecil's daughter? Lives on Wilton Crescent in Belgravia?
The same, and her disagreeable pedigree is unmistakable. A simple sighting or sound from her mouth bellows her genealogy.
These selections may be too difficult for Lady Cordelia. I know from experience that Paganini is formidable.
Mary had a little lamb exhausts the woman's skill. She has no ear nor rhythm, but don't tell her. She chose the pieces, and now mastery is a matter of pride. She's that stubborn.
Do they practice?
Constantly. Between arguments, they've had hard words over her interpretations. She's getting desperate, and in the end, that's bad for him.
Milady will receive you following her offering to the musical deities. Please give her a moment to compose herself. Oh, she's most vexed, as they must be from the sound of it.
We have interrupted your practice session, Lady Lockridge. My apologies.
I will not satisfy your vanity, Mr. Holmes, by asking how you knew what I was doing. What do you want?
Civility would be welcome.
I had hoped your uninvited visit would be a pleasant interruption for my battle with Mozart. Alter your tone, and my girl will show you the door.
Might I say your decorator was inspired, Lady Lockridge? Did he take guidance from you?
Followed my instructions to the letter. As it happens, I have impeccable taste. I could have been a designer if it weren't below my station.
Felicitations are in order, I believe. You are affianced to Lord Lawton?
He has that honour. Your visit concerns him.
I'm investigating a sensitive matter which came before his ministry committee. Lawton was unable to assist me. I thought you might be able to help.
An official investigation? Has he done something improper or dishonourable?
Lord Lawton is not the object of my investigation. I currently have no allegations to bring.
His reputation cannot stand a single sniff of scandal. I won't hear the hint of one in my home. If you have no accusations, the subject of Lord Lawton is closed.
What a superb instrument. A Guarneri, isn't it?
To a true artist, the instrument is but a tool. Do you play, Mr. Holmes?
I dabble, Lady Lockridge. Unlike yourself, my meagre talent cannot conceal my incompetence.
I'm sure it cannot. But I was not always a master, Mr. Holmes. The musical bounty you hear now is the fruit of arduous practice. Do likewise, and you may one day hope to approach my ability.
I'll look forward to that. You are a rare and flexible musician, I perceive.
Given my technique, I would have been a superb pianist. But my inspiration is consumed by the violin.
You must favour us with a selection. I'm sure Dr. Watson would think real music a wonderful change.
Those who possess the gift must share it with the less fortunate, Mr. Holmes. Noblesse oblige. And I would play for you now, but my energies are currently devoted to mastering a troublesome Paganini etude.
Another time would suit.
But as you press so fervently, I shouldn't like to disappoint you. Perhaps a little Paganini, as you insist. I can't think what's wrong with this instrument. It doesn't seem to care for Paganini. You must excuse me. I have to return to my etude.
Perhaps it would help if I played Lord Lawton's part.
It might. You couldn't play worse than he. You see, it's a hodgepodge.
A lovely photograph of you and Lord Lawton, if I may say so.
You may, though it doesn't really show me to advantage. It marks the agreement to ally our houses. Lawton's very pleased with his. Doubtless you saw it in his music room.
My hat, Lady Lockridge. You've set yourself two very difficult pieces. All will be well with time and practice.
I doubt it, Mr. Holmes. Far from well. My artistic soul has been vexed and discommoded. I am displeased. The Mozart is merely challenging, but the etude is a heartache. Either Paganini was a fool, or he has been erroneously transcribed. There are simply too many notes. This piece is entirely unplayable.
Might I presume to offer my assistance?
I can't imagine how you might help.
If I may borrow the score, I shall return.
Take it, by all means, before I rip it to shreds.
What are you up to, Wiggins?
Perfecting me education. Care to donate to the cause?
I've no time for jokes.
Then you've no use for me. My life's a joke. A bad one.
I'm sorry I was rude, Wiggins. Stay near, won't you? I'm sure I'll need your assistance. I've a mission for you, boy. Small chance of success, but the game is worth the candle.
Nice to be needed, sir. What's a job?
Find a man. Thick-set, tall, fair, and bearded. Perhaps a blemish on one cheek. Maybe wearing a dark cape and slouch hat over country clothes.
A Gentlemen, eye colour, age, habits.
Unobserved. Confine your efforts to Trafalgar and the embassies, and be careful. At the very least, he keeps dangerous company. Let's be off, Watson, while the scent is fresh.
I'm no tracking hound, Holmes, but I know how to hunt.